the International Medical University. Today's class is about using the Quantum SuperLearning Enhancement Technician, the first visit.
We are going to go over the basic steps one needs to take when doing a first session with a client. We are going to start our program by double-clicking on the Eductor 64 icon on our desktop.
Here's a close-up of the Eductor icon that will be on your desktop. And oh yes, you don't have to have just an Eductor. Your Skios and Indigos will do the GSR TDCS as well. Watch and learn.
We wait for the program to load. At 25%, if the device is set up correctly, we will get the device recognition panel. We can hear the beeping the Eductor, and we see the serial number and the fact that the Eductor has been recognized. There's a very important button in this panel, the PHO check, which allows us to check the validity of our device. Please feel free to click this button anytime to check if your device has been properly registered with the PHO office and QX Subspace website.
Use this button here. It is very important to check the BHO and make sure that you have the correct software, that you weren't cheated and you don't have something counterfeit.
We close to continue. The program will continue to load. We click on continue, go to password, we hit OK, enter 0210, the password, and click OK. We move to demographics. We do a complete demographics for our patient, especially the first time. It is very important. Also in the upcoming times, it's very important to see if the patient has done anything to modify his lifestyle. We are going to enter a test patient for now. Very important to go over all of these questions. Number of organs removed, synthetic drugs used currently, if they smoke, how much they smoke a day, steroid type drugs used in the last year, amalgam fillings current or present during last year, number of street drugs used per month, allergies that they're aware of, unresolved mental factors, responsibility for their own body, amount of fat in diet, personal stress, a very important one, number of sugar type products per day, number of exercise sessions per week, alcoholic drinks, coffee, black tea, any caffeine product, extreme toxic exposures per year, major injuries they've had in the past, number of major infections past and present, how much water they drink, and how many kilos they feel they're overweight.
All of the biofeedback today involves lifestyle analysis, which we call the SOC, Suppression Obstruction to Cure Index. This is very important, and it adds to your billing if you do CPT code billing.
Once we have entered all of this information, we click on Patient Data, Load Your Previous Patient, hit OK. Tell the program that we are entering a new patient. We have to give a birthday. Enter place of birth and country. Also enter the address for your files, patient's insurance company, very important in case you want to bill them. Please save current patient. Confirm the SOC. We can see that this visit is number 1 visit. In case you feel the patient is negative, you can put the number of negativity you feel and the amount of kilos overweight in your opinion. We close. If we want, we can do biorhythm and proceed with calibration.
Calibration determines the basic electrical physiology of the patient, the speed of reactivity, their voltage, amperage, resistance components, oxidation, hydration. So we get a baseline of the electrophysiology.
Once calibration is complete, we proceed to test. Hit OK. Do we want to close calibration? Yes.
Here's the home use panel, and this is one of the places that you can do SuperLearning therapy. Here's one of the buttons for it. And you can do this on subsequent visits. We do not recommend that you do this on the first visit. You should do more testing and more analysis.
If you want, you can use the home use panel. Right after calibration, we are going to skip this. Do we want to access the EEG ECG panel? Yes, we select yes.
This rather extensive EEG and ECG is only on the adductor. If you have ischio and indigo, you'll have to skip this procedure and move on. Please watch.
We are going to start doing an ECG measurement. Start EEG program, click on it to stop, and give it a second to stabilize. Because it is a very, very sensitive EEG, we need to have the patient lay very still. Don't move at all. And let the EEG stabilize. Once we get a good picture, like the one I had before, we stop the EEG program, and the program will save that last print screen into our SuperView. We move to the ECG, and click Start ECG Program. We can see that the ECG measurement is in process. We again need to give it some time to stabilize.
This is a professional 3-pole ECG report that can be used in insurance payment.
Once we got a good EEG, we stop the ECG program. Now we can move on to the rest of the therapy. We click Close to exit. Are we sure we want to leave? Yes. Now we move on to the test.
This is for biofeedback purposes only. It's not for primary diagnosis. Please use it within your scope of practice. Get good professional education from Immune and learn how to use and interpret the results and learn about validation and verification of the program.
Click on Prepare. And you will see that the same button has turned into test. Now we click on test and start the testing process.
We use the basic style of Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, which the one you see here is rather asexual, but you can make a different choice. And when we decided to make the adductor, we tried to capture a more subtle female energy, and we use this graphic, if you wish, but certain people were offended and they didn't like the breasts, and certain people didn't really like the man's genitalia. But you can make the choice as for whatever you wish on this page. There is a pull down on the system, on the test page, that allows you to select which of these pictures you will use in your program. This full test usually takes about 3+ minutes, and it measures your reactivity to thousands of different items.
Once the tests are ready, we are closing. Click on Please Load No Info Report to see the results.
These results are individual reactions that people have had, that your subject has had, to individual items. If you take a look at the red items, those are the very, very significant items. Now keep in mind to use this within your scope of practice, recognizing that this is not fully diagnostic, it is pre-diagnostic, and it can indicate different trends to look into. Please try to learn more with the Biofeedback Wellness Consultant course.
After browsing through the results, we are going to go to Risk Profile. So click on Programs, and then Risk Profile. Load current patient to get the latest in order.
Here on the risk profile, we don't look at single individual reactions. We look at reactions to multiple items inside a certain topic area, such as circulation, food poisoning, virus, hormones, etc. If you look into this, now you can get a more general idea of what the problems are for the patient.
We will see
today.
that the highest at the top is amoeba. We are going to click on amoeba, do a virtual doctor test.
The last item we clicked on, we are holding in a test tray. Now we're going to be doing the virtual doctor, which allows us to check many different types of reactions and to help to give us directions and ideas of what we might do for further therapy based on the patient's body reactions. Keep in mind, this is all based on the patient's body reactions.
Browse again through the results and then do connection to homotoxicology.
There are many other choices that you might use, such as NLP, spinal program, acupuncture. There's a host of other choices that you might use. And please feel free to use the one that is best suited to your use or to your patient today. But we like to use homotoxicology because it is quick and easy.
In homotoxicology, we always click on the highest red and then select one of the things we want to investigate in connection to what we selected in risk profile. Continue test on specific organ. And in here, we are going to click and clear some of the things that are relevant to us by double-clicking in between two commas on what is of interest for us. We are usually doing physical things, and of course, we are also doing emotional things. We click on a thing that is of interest, and then we wait for the therapy to proceed. We want to get rectification as high as possible.
Rectification happens when we can balance the body electric and maximize the healthy potentials.
So if rectification is 95%, that's okay. If it's below what you want, you can redo the therapy by clicking again on the panel. After clearing some of the physical things, we deal with the emotional.
We keep doing the rectification until we can try to get it above 85%. Somewhere 100% is really good. And if we can do that within a couple of clicks, then we have achieved our goal of rectifying the condition and the item that we are working on.
Rectification again, 95. Once we've cleared everything we wanted, we close out. We can do detox of the organism on allopathic drug detox in case the patient is taking any drugs. Close out. You can clear one or two by value. By hitting this button, you will get again everything by value. You can clear the first two things, or you can clear the top thing or one that is of interest or you find relevant for the patient.
We like to clear out the top one or two because that's what the body unconscious has chosen. Then we like to try to clear out what else the body has chosen through the verbal mind. So you might go down the list of risk profile and find other things that you might want to work on.
Forward to the electrophysiological oscillation frequency, MCES. We are going to do the EEG, brainwave pattern. We are starting the test.
The system will be looking for different problems inside the brainwave and then trying to fix them or correct them with electrical stimulation.
Once the test is ready, we click on OK, finish. It will take a little bit longer from this point on. And now we will see which one is the highest.
The device is made to look at all of these different areas and to add a number every time it sees one of these areas. If it finds too many of these areas, it can be told to directly correct those problems.
Deficit at 47. We are going to click on it and start. Click OK. Our goal is to get normal to be the highest number, so everything, all of the others, should be below the normal value. We'll click on Finish. We get additional information once the tests are done. Addiction pattern, aggression, worry, sadness, past trauma, obsessive pattern. Double click and the panel disappears. Okay, now we see that the highest one is general asymmetry 54. We click on it and hit start. Okay, so therapy finished. We click on OK. We are going to see what the highest number is now. 47 cerebral dysfunction, 47 general asymmetry, and attention deficit. Since we've worked with these two, we are going to do cerebral dysfunction and click on Start. Okay. Click on Finish. We've got 36, 45. Click on 45 and Start. We click on OK. Our goal is to get normal to be the highest number. We still have one that is higher. Deep brain asymmetry. We are going to do this one as well by clicking Start.
By clicking on this function at the highest number, or whatever you click on, this will tell the computer to try to correct with electrical stimulation that concern.
We click OK and continue. Now we see that normal is the highest at 62. We can proceed with the session. We have achieved our goal. Are you sure you want to leave? Yes. We are now going to move to the next step, Programs and NLP, where we are going to perform one of the new therapies, one of the most powerful therapies in developing intellect, enhancing mathematical skills and performance. There are more than one choices here: Mathematical SuperLearning RX, SuperLearning Memory Storage and Retrieval, Insight Intellect Development. We are going to start with Mathematical SuperLearning.
There are a host of things that you can choose from, but here we see a very refined list of autofocused cybernetic loop therapies, and here are the best ones for your super learning or for sports
This one
performance.
takes place inside the ductory, where we will click Start AFE Therapy, and we will see that the rectification goes up to 100%.
It might go to 100% rather quickly with healthy people and take longer with people who are more and more sick. But you can keep going past that 100%, and you can keep the therapy on for a much longer time. To use the second waveform generator, we click on this button here, and then we're able to then go through and choose the potential, which can be an auto choice. We can also be used to find out which harness points, and the best is to use all, but you can direct it to different quadrants if you wish. And also to be able to choose the different harmonic reactions of different chakra or brainwave. Alpha is the best choice before a sporting event, and gamma is the best choice if there's a big scholastic test. It will stimulate the brain.
In the meantime, we are going to move forward and access the big, and go to the biofeedback movies and autofocus entities to play a video for our client while we are improving their mathematical skills. We are going to start biofeedback for breath control. This video can play on an extended desktop, and the patient can be looking at it and hearing the words, breathing the words, while the therapy is going on in the background for them. Remember that a wider selection of videos, a huge amount of information, is available to you on the Immune hard drive that can be purchased from the Immune website. Apart from the videos that were specifically designed to increase mathematical skills, intelligence, creativity, Immune also offers you an incredible selection of research, studies, books, all materials intended for you, the therapist, to be able to help your client more. An incredible and vast amount of information is available to you on the hard drive, so don't hesitate. Contact Immune, get the hard drive, and use the information made available to you to help your clients further. Moving back to the clasp, we see that the rectification has reached 100%, but with the newer versions, the quantum resonance biofeedback therapy is now deepening, so if we let it go past the 100%, we are moving into a deeper level of healing, into a deeper level of helping our client. Once the significant amount of time has passed and we decided that we want to finish and stop the therapy, we click on Stop the AFT Therapy, and then we close. We click on OK and then we close. We now move back to the EEG, to our post-EEG and ECG measurement for our SuperBill. We access the EEG and ECG panel. We are advised to turn off the big in order to access this function, which we did. And we are starting the ECG program again. We've got a nice and stable EEG. Once we think we have a good reading, something we want to put in our SuperBill, we click Stop EEG Program. We move on to the ECG. And stop when we think we have a good reading. We now close. Are you sure you want to leave this?
If you don't have the adductor, if you have a skio or indigo, you can still do all these functions and still make a report and help people. Don't give up.
And we are going to SuperBill Access. In this panel, we not only have access to the SuperBill, but to a whole range of information, text, helpful links that will guide the therapist into, for example, becoming a biofeedback consultant, CPT codes, biofeedback therapist request for referral, a declaration to physician. So all those sort of documents, new guidelines for third-party reimbursement are provided to you to help you with your billing. We are now going to go into the EEG, ECG pre and post, and we will see that we have both EEG and ECGs here. We can print this information out for our patients. We can also see the SOC report if we want in a SuperBill format, easy to print. And of course our SuperBill. We can edit it as needed. When we're finished, we click OK to save. You can change the amounts here. When you are done, close it and click OK, and then you can print it for your patient. We are going to finish the session by going to the Check Current Rectification panel and do rectification of all below. This is a very good way to finish the session. It takes a couple of minutes, and we make sure that we've taken care of everything that we might have missed during this session. We are going to continue with a video on the second session and what is advised when working with intelligent and mathematical skills.
Now you've finished your first session, and you've helped make the body electric a little bit better. And now the quantum SuperLearning enhancement technician has done the first session, ready for the next. You can use the CPT codes and make a SuperBill and help to get your patient recovered for funds, but most of the time when it's SuperLearning enhancement or sports enhancement, this is usually just plain private pay. You don't have to do the insurance. So now you've done your work and you've made your test and you made a report and you've collected your money, and now you can schedule them to come back for the second treatment out of the 4 different treatments, helping them enhance their performance and scholastic ability. And yes, it works fully well with your skios and indigos. Write to me if you have questions.